Hello, today we are looking at the bewilderingly pleasant game of Welcome to.
This is what's called a roll and write game. That's roll and write. When we talked about this genre of games back in the young and heady days of podcast 83, a lot of you thought we were talking about a designer called Roland Wright.
No, Roland Wright was a serial killer who murdered over 100 board games before he was finally caught. Roll and Write is a genre of games most well known for Yahtzee, where you roll dice and record your results on a blank sheet of paper that gradually fills up with everything you've done over the course of the game. The genre is defined by the limitless possibilities of this blank canvas gradually transmogrifying into a record of all your regrets and self-loathing. Why did you write that number in that space? Are you a fool? Quickly dispose of your sheet so no one will ever know your shame. Or just play again, just do better next time and dispose of your sheet as well. Or just play better. Just play better next time and dispose of your sheet. Just do that. Just destroy the evidence.
In 2017, the roll and write that took everybody's heads off was the Castles of Burgundy, the dice game. Which is good.
It's alright.
It's decent.
It's fine.
But as well as the puzzle being engaging but not exciting, if you're gonna release a spin-off game and reuse the art assets of an existing title, next time, maybe don't pick one of the ugliest games we've ever reviewed. Another roll and write to have gained some hype recently is the abstract maths puzzle Ganz Schon Clever, soon to be released in English under the name Pretty Darn Clever. And that's decent.
It's good. It's good.
It's fine.
It's alright. You claim coloured dice, put numbers in a grid that give you more numbers, eventually unlocking yet more numbers that are your points. And it is clever, but it does play like the most entertaining thing that a deputy headmaster could come up with. But there are a couple of roll and writes that really excite us. We'll be looking at Railroad Inc. next month, but right now we are reviewing Welcome to. It's a game about building 1950s suburbs where you and your friends will be numbering houses, digging pools, and erecting fences that inevitably look a bit sinister, which doesn't seem right because, as we all know, good fences make good neighbours.
I'm pretty sure that quote was sarcasm, because good fences mean you don't have...
So this isn't quite a roll and write, it's a flip and write. As each turn you'll be flipping these decks of cards, and every player will be scribbling down one of these numbers on one of their houses. There's no waiting for your turn, you just wait for everyone to scribble and then you flip again and again and again until someone has completed their streets, or much more likely, somebody has disgraced themselves by being unable to write any of these three numbers for the third time. Your streets can skip numbers, but they have to be in ascending order, you know, like a street in real life. We can't imagine anybody getting that rule wrong. But wait, there is more, because each number comes bundled with one of 6 special powers from the back of the previous card, meaning that sometimes a number that you don't want that much might come with a power that you definitely do. For example, pools. If you can scratch in a pool with a house of the same number, that's great. The more pools you have, the more points you dig out of the ground. Or there's landscaping, which allows you to create parkland, and the more parks you build, the greater a playground reward you're working your way towards at the end of the game, where you'll really pack in those park points. And you might not, because there's so much other work to be done. Houses only score points if they're in finished, fenced-off estates of 1 to 6 buildings. This gives you a fence. And the real estate agent lets you increase the point value of neighbourhoods of different sizes. So if you max out the value of your 6-house estates, you'll be able to rake in points with a minimum of fences.
But you won't do that, because every game of Welcome to starts with 3 random milestones being dealt out, offering extra points to whoever completes them first. Milestones like finishing a variety of estates or completing the first and last houses of each street. Suddenly, this sedate game just became a race, and you're going to be labelling houses with horrible numbers to try and get the points from coming first. Right from the start of Welcome to, there's a wonderful tension between simply wanting to number your houses correctly and being ambitious and wanting to leave that house empty in case a 6 pool comes up, or wanting to finish that fat estate. But within just 5 minutes of the game beginning, you'll enter the darkly pleasurable mid-game of Welcome 2, where your high-minded plans have collapsed into prayer, as you and all the rest of the players at the table are wincing as the cards get flipped, and then sometimes that 8 park you were praying for actually comes up, and sometimes you get dicked. At their heart, roll and write games are about planning with the spice of gambling, and Welcome 2 is simply really satisfying planning with gambling that elevates the whole experience because it uses cards instead of dice, and because you're going to get through the deck 1 and a bit times. And that means you're not just looking at what numbers and powers to take, but which powers are passing you by, because you're not probably going to see them again. But you might, because in the finale of Welcome 2, where you go through the whole deck and you have a few more turns to play, you have no idea what cards and powers are going to come up. But most excitingly of all, for a game that features gambling, you can push your luck. You're ready for this? That's enough. That's enough. Try this.
No, that makes it louder.
Look, why don't you... Stop!
Bis is a very special power that allows you to squeeze an extra house next to a house that you're already building. It's like, this is house number 13. People live here at house number 13. This is 13A, and the 13A people live here as well, because of course, it means you can build 2 properties in 1 turn and more rapidly snake your way towards those objectives. However, wait, stop, sit down, just be calm. The power of Bis is not to be abused, because the more you Bis, the more your score will suffer.
Paul, you strike me as a bad dude.
The baddest.
What if I told you you could, at any point, demolish a house and replace it with a roundabout?
I'm listening.
This immediately grants you a free fence on either side and creates an additional street where numbers can start from 1 again. But you lose 3 points for the first roundabout and another 5 if you build a second. Not to mention that by using the unholy power of Bis and roundabouts, you're filling up slots on your sheet faster than your friends, like a 1950s Icarus flying dangerously close to the sun of being denied a building permit when you can't write down any of those 3 numbers.
Quinns, you've roused something inside me. Let's draw some roundabouts.
Okay, let's do it! I don't actually...
because...
This is a really...
And I've already...
It's really risky.
No,
Let's just
So what I...
play it safe.
Right.
If you like your puzzles profound, but also just really attractive and want to stare at a suburb that evolves in complexity like a mutating snowflake, will feel right at home on the streets of Welcome 2. This is the roll and write that has teased us the most expertly, along with Railroad Ink. And also, along with Railroad Ink, it has the best art design. I've heard that there's an expansion for this coming out next year, and I can't wait.
And it scales infinitely, meaning you can have as many players as you want to distribute sheets of paper for them to play with, meaning it can become an interesting experiment in shared stress. All of you scribbling together and then gaining that particular kind of delight from hearing other people complaining about problems that you managed to avoid. And it has that wonderful sign of an excellent game where as soon as you're finished and you've totaled up the score from your mismatched neighborhood, you immediately know how you could do better next time, especially if you're Matt.
So, Shut Up and Sit Down absolutely recommends Welcome 2. We played so many roll and writes in preparation for this review, but Welcome 2 is the only one that we've wanted to play and 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 play and
And
play.
if I had any complaint at all, which I don't really, but like the most serious criticism I have is the box is a bit beige. It's just a bit beige. And it makes me think of like DIY, home improvement store stuff. And it belies how much colour and excitement and joy is within this box. But if your only complaint is going to be about the design of the box, you don't really have a problem, do you?
No.
And what a year for the genre. because things could only get better if, I don't know, there was also a challenger along the way, like railroading, which, for example, we might have in an upcoming review sometime, and which may also be a little bit exciting, right?
But we will say, I don't see why you wouldn't own both. I wouldn't hold off on buying Welcome 2 just because railroading is really good. Oh no.
Is that music? Do you have a lot of fluid?
Yeah. If you have enjoyed this video, we make a few videos. Do we?
How do you open it?
Just get your fingernail in. There you go.
I've never done this before.
There you go. Yeah. Then we make loads of board game videos, and we work really hard to make nice, fun ones that are nice. Yeah, to cover it all over. So you could watch some of these, and then yeah, that could be a way to improve your life. You need a lighter as well.